E-commerce equals MLM scam? I thought this would be a pretty interesting post. Apologize in advance that this is not the type of question to ask here. My 17-year-old daughter recently came to me to say that she has been talking to someone on Instagram for 1 month about joining her e-commerce business. 17-year-old said, I need to pay her to start, but there is a guaranteed refund if I don't make any money. I started asking her questions. What would you sell? Her response, it's e-commerce. How much are you supposed to pay? Her response, this is what I want to do. I want a real job so I can be financially independent. Me. You do have a job. Works at a restaurant. And it's legit. I asked her if she has ever heard of MLMs. She hasn't. When I start to explain, she gets very defensive and says that is not what this is at all. This is e commerce. I ask what that means, and she says, it's not what you think. You don't understand. Then walks away frustrated and mad. So, am I out of touch? So, am I an out of touch old mom who doesn't understand e commerce opportunities, or is this the new scam term for MLMs? I'll put it this way, this is not an MLM scam, but what this is probably happening, like what is probably going on in this type of situation, is that this person's daughter, 17-year-old daughter, probably saw someone making good amount of money online, or they were claiming that they were making really good money online with e-commerce, aka Shopify, aka probably Shopify dropshipping, and they're like, oh, that person's driving like a BMW or a Lamborghini or whatever. They got a nice house, blah 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 blah. And then they're like in the DMs, like, oh, what do you do to make money, right? That the daughter probably like, asked her or whatever, asked the person. And the person responded, oh, I do e commerce, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah. And then they sell them basically some sort of program or something. Now, here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with selling like a program. Like let's say that someone is actually doing Shopify dropshipping and they're actually making really good money doing Shopify dropshipping. There's nothing wrong with them selling a program about how they are doing their Shopify dropshipping. The thing is, you really shouldn't be basically selling this to like a 17-year-old in this type of format, right? Like if somebody wants to like buy your program, okay, let them buy your program. But this is like really weird because it's like the way that this is kind of like going about, it kind of sounds like, oh, we'll offer a job to you, but first you have to pay us. That's sketchy as hell, right? If it was just someone like, hey, I have a program about Shopify dropshipping. If you want to learn how to do that, sure, go ahead and buy this program, right? That's completely different than what I think is actually happening here, where someone's basically trying to like convince her to pay in for a job. That is sketchy as hell, right? And yeah, if you are wanting to get a job, like if you are like wanting to get paid in the form of a job, you should not be paying any money to get that job unless you are paying like transportation to get to the location to apply for the job or to move to the state or city or whatever. That's like a completely different scenario. So let's see. Let's see some of these comments. Her response, this is what I want to do. I want a real job. Explain to her that real jobs don't require you to pay them because that's literally the opposite of a job. I agree. This is clearly a scam. The most likely thing is there's no job whatsoever and she's about to be robbed by this Instagram contact. I'd recommend that you and she pursue r/scams together. Pursue or peruse r/scams together for a while. So okay, so the person says, sorry, I should have said that. Her response was, oh, okay, okay, okay. There's clarification. I want a real job where I make real money. I did respond by telling her that any job that asks you to pay any sort of startup fee, it isn't legit. Did not go over well. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So if you're paying like a startup fee, that's pretty much basically an MLM. Yeah, okay. I get what she's saying now. So yeah, this is pretty much basically yeah, it is basically like an MLM what they're trying to get her into. That's pretty sketchy. Wow. Sounds like an MLM scam to me, but maybe you'll get a sweet deal on some Scentsy candles. It's concerning she doesn't even know what she's selling but willing to hand over money. I know. I'm not sure if she really doesn't know what she would be selling or if it's that she was so flustered by my questions and skepticism that she just shuts down. It scares me to think that she might be this gullible. The thing is, it doesn't take much for people to basically be gullible. It could just be at the right time, at the right moment. It might be the right thing that basically just clicks with someone, right? And it might be that she's following someone that she really trusts, like on social media, or she likes this person's lifestyle so much, looks up to this female influencer or whatever, and is willing to basically do whatever that influencer pretty much says, which is like an issue, right? Because if you have like a 17-year-old girl who looks up to like like maybe like a 21-year-old girl, and that 21-year-old girl is like making like $500,000 a year, living this awesome life in an awesome city, etc. Well, she's gonna be very easy to sell something to her, right? And that's the sad situation that this is. Like, this person's daughter is going to be extremely gullible, probably due to who she is in communication with. Okay, so this person says lipstick on a pig. This other person says my daughter, who is taking business and marketing classes in college, came to us with the same scenario. Contacted via Instagram, easy money, needs some startup money, 100% refundable. I explained to her it's an MLM slash pyramid scheme, more work than you think, you'll quickly run through your pool, family, friends, etc. This is what I want to do, it's only $200, etc., etc., etc. Go for it, kid. A few weeks go by, it's more work than she planned, constantly creating media to post to Instagram. It really not really making any sales. The girl who brought her in keeps talking up the company and introduces my kid to her boss. Same, talking up the company, etc. Another week goes by. She's getting a bit miserable with all of this. By some strange twist of fate, one of her business classes is discussing this. The light goes on in her head. She's done. The girl who brought her in tries to give her the hard sell to stay. My kid feels bad for her but decides to bail. I told her, get your money back. I let her pay for this life lesson. She decided to just keep the product, she uses it, but won't buy more when it runs out. Yeah. And here's the thing, if someone is like contacting you on Instagram for a business opportunity where, oh, you can make a crazy amount of money by doing this one thing, but you just got to do this first, nah. Like, man, this is sad that people fall for this stuff. So r slash e-commerce mod here, as well as someone who owns multiple stores and has been doing this for 15 plus years. Obviously, e-commerce itself is not a scam, but that's not to say that people aren't trying to use it to scam people. What your daughter's describing though is a scam. And you know what? After like reading through all this stuff, yeah, it basically is a scam. What's going on? Or at the very least, a really shady MLM. So dropshipping and e-commerce in general are all over TikTok and social media right now. People who aren't even successful at it are calling themselves mentors or coaches and are selling their services to young kids through adults under the guise of easy money. Listen, if she's seriously interested in e-commerce, 17 is a great age to start learning. She's not going to make any money at it up front, but she should also not be investing any of her money either, just her time. Tell her to spend 5 to 10 hours a week reading and learning how to design a store, how to source a product, etc. But don't let her spend her hard earned money on gurus and other grifters who will leave her with nothing but regret. So the person says, yes, daughter said something about how she would be mentored and coached by this person on Instagram. Thank you for your reply and advice. The thing is, right, she said like this is going to be like 200 bucks, right? If someone was like really successful at this e-commerce stuff, they're not going to dedicate a lot of time to actually mentoring you. Like, think about it. If someone was making like 100,000, $200,000 a year minimum after taxes on e-commerce, why would they dedicate hours upon hours to help you improve your financial situation by going the e-commerce route for only 200 bucks? Like, I don't know, it just seems kind of crazy. This person says depends on what you call successful. If you can get 2 plus people a day to send you 200 bucks plus, you're doing pretty good now. I guess like let's put it this way. Let's see. So two people, I don't know, let's just do 500. What about 400? So 400 per day. So 7 days a week. So let's see, times 7 times 52. That's $145,600. Yeah, okay. A lot of money per year by just doing that. My dad brought home Amway to me, and I was like, get out of my face with this. I gotta go work my shift at Arby's. E commerce just means selling goods and services online, and yes, she is being scammed. She probably had her hopes up and you dashed them. This is an incredibly obvious MLM scam. There's a good chance she won't listen to you just because you are her parent. And please keep in mind, there's always a chance she'll do it behind your back after telling you she won't. Please direct her to other sources. I'm sure there's lots of videos about these. She will have to hear it from someone other than you. This thread is a good start. E-commerce encompasses almost everything these days, and it is not MLM or a scam. This is absolutely a scam, though. 100%. You don't pay to get a job. Jobs pay you. The scammer is just trying to use big words to dazzle children. Yeah, this is crazy. Feel free to give your thoughts on this if you stumble upon this. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and learn how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. But wow, like this is just crazy to me. Like, oh my god.